Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the DJI Ronin-S. Now, I'm excited to finally have this in my possession. I have been working with the Feiyu A2000 as an all-purpose gimbal for a variety of different cameras, but of course, I was waiting for DJI to bring what they've got to the table. So for roughly $700 US, this is still in and out of stock pretty much everywhere. I picked mine up through Best Buy, B&H, Adorama. Nobody has it available right now, and that's because it is in high demand and short supply, for lack of a better word. In fact, B&H told me it would be roughly a month with a pre-order right now, so I'm assuming the same goes for Adorama, because I believe this was actually launched in tandem with B&H over any other supplier. So if that's the case, forget about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this tape. And there it is. I believe that's all of the tape, but we're going to see. And I know inside, yeah, there we go. We've got essentially a styrofoam case. See if I can get that out of here. And I'm going to call it your pseudo travel case because it is a functional case right out of the gate, which is nice to have. No question about that. You can see we've got a locking mechanism right here. Handle, pretty nice looking. Now the Ronin-S is by no means a light gimbal. Everything I've seen, everything I've read, the biggest complaint, or the only real complaint, is the weight of this system. So that's going to be interesting since it is a one-handed system in theory. Turn gives you the unlock, and there is everything in one shot right there. So essentially, it is very cool that you've got a locking mechanism, and this is part of the polish that I anticipated, expected from DJI. Was really just looking at the market, seeing the Crane 2, seeing, of course, what Feiyu has done, and bringing their best to the table. And of course, you could have gone with a bigger rig in the Ronin family, previous generations, but not only was that more expensive, but also far more cumbersome. So finally seeing a DJI product fill this, void was a really welcoming thing. And I will be comparing this to the Feiyu A2000. So without further ado, let's go through what is actually in this box. We have a little DJI branded pouch. My box did take some damage, by the way, it looked like. Hopefully that won't affect the performance of the gimbal. So we've got a lot of extra, or I should say spare parts in here, as well as, of course, silica gel. Who doesn't love a good packet of silica gel? These appear to be all of our cables for connecting to a variety of cameras. So, basically out of the box, I know that Panasonic was at least the only brand, I think, that got an actual completely compatible verification or certification from DJI with this. But of course, I'm assuming we're going to have capability here with the Sony A7 line of cameras like the R Mark II and the R Mark III that I'll be using this with. So silica gel away. And I'll start by showing you what really became obvious, at least to me, with my very first gimbal, the Feiyu, was that you needed something to mount at the base. So DJI has given you a tripod style mount so that you can place the gimbal down and not have to be carrying it all the time, which I think is very smart. And I think it was always an obvious thing that this was absolutely a necessity. Moving right along, we've got our power brick right here, which is just a USB to the device itself. It'll be interesting to see what charge time is like. I've read it's a little over 2 hours. This is the actual grip right here, which is also what physically charges. So let's go ahead and get the plastic off that. And if you are familiar with DJI, then you already know what this looks like right here. So I'm pressing this to see if we've got any charge out of the box. Well, it should be emitting something if there was a charge. I guess there is no charge out of the box. Now, essentially, just so you can see exactly how the system works, how it links up, I will have to charge this clearly. And also it'll be interesting to see how difficult this is to actually balance. But this is the mounting point for the grip. By the way, the grip definitely is a grip. That's not something I can say in general about the Feiyu A2000. I mean, I like it. It's an affordable gimbal in every way possible, but it does not afford, this sort of capability in terms of the motor not being at the back end, blocking your LCD screen. That's that angled motor right there that you're looking at. The A1000 does have that, but nowhere near the payload capacity. And this thing is just a monster. I mean, I can tell you right now, in terms of weight, the overall build quality, it does make me, it's a different class of product. And the price reflects that. In the same vein, because I feel DJI came in relatively low on this price tag, it's a benefit to all of us. It means more competition, and that especially goes for pricing with the competition. So we'll see. I mean, this looks to me to be a great piece of hardware. It is heavy. There's no question about it. Once you add, a 2 to 5 pound payload on here, it's going to get heavy after a while. And I think that's why the grip is as large as it is. And they have included, of course, again, the tripod so that you can easily, I'll attach it right now, get things going and not have to always, if I can thread this in there, you will not always have to be worried about holding it all the time. So if I go ahead and move the case, nothing in there really. Well, yeah, there is part of the assembly, excuse me. But there you have it. I know this is one-dimensional in terms of a shot, but this is the gimbal missing sans one piece, which is right here. I will grab it, which is, of course, the slider for actually mounting the camera, which is supposedly compatible with Manfrotto out of the gate, but I've read mixed things about that. But I'm not too concerned. And of course, once you've done your balancing, joystick right here that I was just showing you earlier, record button, the lock for the actual grip. You've got a focus dial that in the event you do have a Panasonic, G-Series camera, then you'll be able to, right out of the box, have focus control. But everything, the attention to detail here is just, again, in another league compared to anything I've seen from any other manufacturer. The weight, of course, as I keep mentioning, you're going to be doing some curls. That's all. Is that a big deal? I don't think so, if you're getting the best product on the market, and that's exactly what this Ronin-S appears to be. I have to get it charged and report back to you and give you, performance, some samples. I see a USB port right there. That's how you're going to link up with your camera for this focus control. That is, again, if your camera is supported. So just a really unique gimbal, an affordable price, something I think many thought could be as high as $800 to $900. Originally, DJI was talking about a price point, I think, of $8 or $9. So the fact that it actually landed at $7 is a benefit to anyone who's looking to try to be more creative, change their style of shots, and just the way that they use their camera of choice when it comes to capturing video, because gimbals can be, a great thing or a horrible thing depending on design and overall performance. Everything I've seen with the Ronin-S points to it being a win across the board. So excited to have it, excited to share it with all of you, and of course you'll be seeing some footage and a further testing and eventually full review. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.